In the quiet shadows of history, there are whispers, silent echoes of brilliance that refused to be silenced. Among them, the name Nikola Tesla emerges as a luminous anomaly, a figure shrouded in mystery and genius. From a young age, Tesla's mind was a forge of unrelenting curiosity, forging visions that danced on the edges of reality. Born into a humble Serbian family in the mid-19th century, he was marked by an innate talent that eclipsed his peers, a spark that would ignite revolutionary ideas well ahead of his time. As a boy, Tesla would sit beneath the stars, captivated by the vast expanse of energy pulsating through the universe. His mind yearned to channel that energy to illuminate the world. When he moved to the United States, a land ripe with opportunity and enterprise, Tesla's relentless pursuit of innovation began to transform the fabric of modern civilization. His work with alternating current, an elegant, efficient means of transmitting electricity, set the stage for a new era of technological progress. Yet, beneath his scientific achievements lurked an enigma, a man driven equally by eccentricity and visionary foresight. Tesla was more than an engineer, he was an artist of the unseen forces, a conjurer of the invisible spectrum. His experiments with wireless energy were nothing short of prophetic. He envisioned a global network, a symphony of interconnected points capable of transmitting power across oceans and continents without wires, an idea that threatened established power structures. To Tesla, the universe was a vast, interconnected ether, and he aimed to tap into its boundless energy, to make the impossible a tangible reality. His lab was a temple of innovation, a place where sparks flew and ideas ignited like celestial explosions. From the Tesla coil to early radio technologies, his inventions dazzled the world. But behind the marvels lay something more profound. A desire to unshackle humanity from the constraints of cords and consumption, to elevate consciousness through the free flow of energy. Yet, for all his genius, Tesla's visions hung precariously on the edge of acceptance. Skeptics dismissed his theories as fantasy and powerful interests. Those clinging to the status quo perceived his ideas as threats. Rumors swirled of clandestine machinations aiming to suppress his breakthroughs, to keep humanity tethered to an energy system controlled by monopolies and governments. Tesla's relentless pursuit drew suspicion and enmity, forcing him into a solitary pursuit, a solitary genius facing an opaque, often hostile world. Now, imagine a reality where Tesla's visions were never suppressed. What if, in this alternate timeline, his groundbreaking ideas, those glimpses into the ether, that unquenchable desire for wireless infinity, had been fully embraced? What if the world, instead of dismissing him, had nurtured his visions, applied his inventions at scale, unleashing the true potential of the energy that pervades everything? The consequences would ripple across history, an era of unfathomable innovation, where energy was free, limitless, and accessible for all. In this reimagined universe, Tesla becomes not just a scientist marginalized by history, but a pioneering prophet whose knowledge was respected and integrated. His visions of a boundless, interconnected energy grid turn into the backbone of civilization. Cities glow with untethered power, the environment heals as fossil fuels become relics, and humanity's consciousness expands outward, connected in ways previously thought impossible. His inventions, once deemed extraordinary, are now foundational, shaping a society that eschews greed and exploitation in favor of unity and enlightenment. In the shadows of this alternate timeline, the true man behind the myths emerges, Tesla as a beacon of hope and a harbinger of a new age. The mystery that once enfolded him is replaced with clarity, a genius who saw beyond the horizon of the known, who dared to dream of a world connected by invisible threads of energy and thought. The question lingers. What if he had been celebrated, his ideas fully unleashed? Would humanity have survived the abyss of chaos and destruction that often threatens to consume it? Or would this knowledge have opened doors to unknown dangers, unleashing chaos in the pursuit of divine power? Perhaps the greatest mystery of all is how history is shaped by omission and concealment. The silenced truths, buried beneath the noise of political and corporate power, speak volumes about what could have been, the vibrant symphony of Tesla's genius, denied to the world in its time. Now, in the echoes of what was deliberately erased, we are left to wonder. What other visions lie dormant, waiting to be reignited? And in this reflection, the man behind the myths stands as both a symbol and a warning, a testament to what can be achieved when the light of true understanding is finally allowed to shine through the darkness of suppression. In the shadowed corridors of power, where greed and ambition intertwine, Tesla's innovations lay buried beneath layers of silence and shadow. The scene opens with flickering images, distant echoes of a world teetering on the brink of transformation, yet painfully restrained. Wealthy conglomerates, tangled in the web of capitalism, hold their influence tight, fearing the disruption that Tesla's genius could unleash. The government, historically eager to protect its interests, turns a cold shoulder to his groundbreaking ideas, shrouding them in reflection of secrecy, as if the very sparks of his consciousness threatened to ignite chaos. Tesla's visions shimmer vividly, resonant with the promise of free energy, wireless communication, a world unbound by the chains of dependence. But these images flicker and fade, replaced by the relentless clatter of industry and the oppressive silence of suppression. Corporate operatives and government officials conspire behind closed doors, metaphorical doors bolted shut. They fear the destabilization of their grip on power. What would happen if the world awoke to the truth of limitless, sustainable energy? They suppress, distort, and erase. Throughout the scene, archival images showed Tesla's patents being stolen, his ideas dismissed as eccentricities, his research confiscated or destroyed. His inventions, revolutionary in their potential, vanish into obscurity, shackled by legal battles, political sabotage, and economic interests. Every attempt to share his visions, to reach the masses, is met with ridicule or indifference. The world remains unaware of what it is losing, an entire universe of possibility sealed behind a vault of bureaucratic malice. As the narrative deepens, the emotional core begins to emerge. Tesla's face is painted with quiet despair, his revolutionary spirit tamped down, yet burning still, like an ember smoldering beneath the ash. He witnesses the fruits of his labor being silenced, his dreams deferred into obscurity. Around him, the whispers of his potential are drowned out by the machinery of control and greed. A profound question echoes. What price do we pay for silence? What future is sacrificed at the altar of enterprise? The scene transitions to a darkened laboratory, abandoned and dusty. Images of his unfinished projects, the sketches and prototypes fade into shadows. The air is thick with the weight of what could have been, wireless energy suffusing the sky, clean power illuminating cities, networks connecting humanity seamlessly, all kept out of reach. The world, in its stagnation, remains tethered to fossil fuels and dirty engines, while Tesla's ideas lie dormant, buried beneath layers of corporate greed and governmental indifference. Imagine, the narrative urges, a different version of history, one where these innovations were unleashed. A world unshackled from the pollution and inequality driven by energy scarcity. Imagine the cities alive with the hum of accessible power, the air crisp and pure, communication instantaneous and free. How different would our lives have been? How much more could we have achieved if the truth had not been buried? As the scene draws to a close, a haunting realization settles. The suppression of Tesla's work is not just about lost inventions, but about a lost potential for humanity's evolution. The silence imposed upon his discoveries echoes through time, a persistent reminder of what was sacrificed in the name of control. It's a silence that still reverberates today, behind closed doors, shaping a reality where progress is stagnated and innovation is hushed. But beneath this darkness, a flicker persists, an ember of hope that someday, the truth will emerge from the shadows, illuminating a path toward a future unrestrained by greed and secrecy. That someday, Tesla's voice, hidden for so long, will finally be heard, inspiring new generations to dream boldly, to push beyond the confines of what was deemed possible. For in those echoes, those whispers of suppressed truth, lies the undeniable reminder that the human spirit, when unshackled, can redefine the world itself. Imagine a world where Nikola Tesla's vision, unshackled by doubt and corporate greed, had fully unfolded during the dawn of the 20th century. A world where wireless energy hummed effortlessly through the air, illuminating streets, powering homes, and energizing inventions that we only dream of today. In this alternate history, Tesla's relentless pursuit of free energy became a reality, transforming daily life into a seamless integration of power and communication. Cities shimmered with glowing towers emitting invisible currents, and every device, from the simplest lamp to the most sophisticated machine, drew vitality from the ether, no longer tethered to the traditional power grids. In this timeline, wireless energy wasn't just a laboratory experiment. It was a fabric woven into the fabric of society. Imagine the early 1900s, where instead of clunky wires and sprawling electrical networks, entire neighborhoods glow with an effortless, unified source of power. People moved freely, no longer restrained by heavy batteries or the scarcity of resources. Light bulbs flickered on in homes and workshops with a whisper, vibrant and clean, electricity flowing invisibly, boundless, free. The concept of energy becoming a common right, accessible to all, transformed industries overnight. Factories operated without the treacherous tangle of cables, innovations accelerated faster, and the cost of technology plummeted, making previously unreachable inventions imminent. And then, consider wireless communication, a network of unseen threads connecting minds and machines, a tapestry of signals traveling through the air. Tesla's ideas for transmitting messages and data without wires weren't confined metaphorically, they materialized. The early 20th century saw the advent of incredible devices, clunky at first, but with a clear trajectory towards sleek, pocket-sized communication. People could send messages across continents instantly, visualizing images, transmitting voice, even sharing thoughts in real time. News traveled faster than the speed of sound, and distance became irrelevant in human connection. Societies grew closer, borders blurred, and global consciousness ignited in its infancy. In this alternate world, Tesla's inventions didn't remain confined to patent offices or isolated laboratories. They became the backbone of civilization. Public spaces dazzled with screens displaying real-time information, and wireless terminals buzzed with activity. Education was revolutionized. Knowledge flowed freely through the air, accessible to anyone with a receiver. Medical advancements surged forward with remote diagnostics and wireless sensors monitoring health from afar. The societal fabric evolved rapidly, driven by the unrestrained potential of Tesla's technologies. Imagine the impact on transportation, airships, cars, and even early electric planes, all powered and navigated through wireless commands. Cities sprawled upward and outward, no longer limited by the maze of wires or the reach of traditional power supplies. Infrastructure grew smarter, more interconnected, fostering an era of unprecedented efficiency and innovation. With free energy and advanced communication, the world's problems, poverty, war, disease, became more approachable, more solvable, as the collective human mind harnessed these tools to elevate civilization. Yet, beneath this luminous potential lies a darker question. How different might our history have been if these innovations had not been suppressed? If Tesla's dream had been allowed to flourish fully, would we have faced fewer conflicts over resources? Would our environment be less ravaged by the pursuit of finite fuels? Or would humanity have been blinded by the intoxicating promise of unlimited power, rushing recklessly into a future shaped by unchecked technological magic? Still, the core truth remains. Tesla's unobstructed work could have accelerated the arc of progress beyond wildest imaginings. His energy would have flowed freely, powering human endeavor and inspiring a cascade of scientific breakthroughs. The world in this scenario would shimmer with the luminous glow of possibility, where technology folds effortlessly into daily life, reducing the barrier between imagination and reality. But history, as we know it, is not only shaped by innovation, but also by suppression, by those who fear change or stand to profit from control. The echoes of their resistance drown out the silent hum of progress, leaving us with a world that, while advanced, still bears the scars of what could have been. An age where the true potential of Tesla's genius was never fully unleashed, buried under layers of secrecy and greed, is a stark reminder of the cost of suppression. In contemplating this alternate vision, we are forced to confront the question: what power lies in unrestrained innovation? And how might the world look if the forefront of technological discovery was neither silenced nor bought? The answer is a luminous skyline, a society thriving on the free flow of energy and information. A universe where possibilities are unlimited, yet forever out of reach because those in control chose to silence the spark. As the scene fades, a silent hum persists, a reminder of the energy that could have powered a different world. The echoes of Tesla's unleashed potential linger in the air, whispering promises of what might have been, urging us to reflect on the importance of unshackling innovation in the pursuit of a future where humanity, truly, can realize its fullest potential. In a world where the dawn of a new age illuminates every corner of the globe, the shadows of old limitations begin to fade into the darkness of memory. It's a world awakened by the boundless promise of Tesla's breakthroughs. A universe where energy flows freely and endlessly, weaving its invisible threads through every life, every city, every landscape. The hum of power is no longer a symbol of scarcity or conflict but a harmonious melody that unites humanity in a shared symphony of progress. The earth breathes a little easier now, rejuvenated by the reduction of fossil fuel dependence, its skies clearing, its waters healing from the scars of past exploitation. Imagine a vast, interconnected web of energy grids, transcending borders, political divides, and economic disparities, touching the remotest villages and the most towering megastructures alike. These grids pulse with clean, renewable power, a living testament to Tesla's vision of a universally accessible force that doesn't demand or even accept limits. No more hours of blackout, no more wasted potential, only a seamless flow of energy that sustains, nurtures, and elevates. Children in remote mountain villages watch glowing screens at night, their laughter echoing through the cool mountain air. Farmers tend their crops under the warm glow of sustainable lights, harvesting not just food but hope for a brighter future. With energy no longer a rare commodity, societies undergo profound transformations. The very fabric of daily life shifts as poverty and inequality tied to energy access begin to unravel. Power outages, once a devastating impediment, become artifacts of the past. Education is democratized. Digital classrooms become accessible to every child, no matter where their footsteps may fall. Hospitals operate around the clock without fear of running out of power. Innovation blossoms freely, unbound by the limitations of traditional energy sources, leading to technologies that once belonged to the realm of science fiction. Self-sustaining habitats, floating cities powered by Tesla's endless currents, even extraterrestrial colonies that thrive beneath alien skies. In this world, the environment begins an earnest recovery, its wounds healing with astonishing speed. The skies, their historic gray smudges replaced by radiant blues and iridescent sunsets, are now clear, untainted by the smoke of burning fossil fuels. Oceans, once choked by oil spills and pollution, grow calmer and teeming with life. Forests regrow where barren lands once stretched, as the desperation for resource extraction diminishes to almost nothing. Wildlife, silenced by habitat destruction, returns to their natural homes, thriving in a renewed harmony. The air itself tastes purer, infused with the vitality that once seemed lost to human greed. Yet, as this luminous tapestry spreads across the planet, questions whisper beneath the surface. What societal shifts ripple beneath the waves of this abundance? How does a world shaped by ceaseless energy redefine human identity, purpose, and power? The mind races to the horizon, pondering the collective consciousness that begins to rise in tandem with this newfound power. A consciousness unshackled from material scarcity, eager to explore deeper questions of meaning and connection. The economic landscape, once defined by scarcity and competition, now transforms into a playground of collaboration. Technology, freed from the chains of energy constraints, accelerates at an unprecedented pace. Yet, with this rapid evolution comes a reflection. Do humans still cling to old notions of ownership and control, or do they embrace a new paradigm of shared abundance? Communities flourish as cooperatives and commons replace monopolies and exploitation. The very notion of poverty is challenged by the sheer availability of free, clean energy, an equitable foundation for distributing resources, education, and opportunities across all walks of life. In the silence of the night, city skylines sparkle with a gentle, almost hypnotic glow, testaments not to indulgence, but to ingenuity and harmony. Gardens bloom on skyscraper rooftops, and urban farms turn concrete jungles into lush, green havens. Transportation evolves into silent, electric symphonies, airships, solar-powered trains, and autonomous vehicles gliding seamlessly through cities and countryside alike, reducing noise, chaos, and pollution to echoes of a bygone era. The political landscape, too, is reshaped. Power no longer resides solely in the hands of those who control fossil fuels or energy infrastructure but is democratized through Tesla's universal grid. New leaders emerge, visionaries who prioritize sustainability, equality, and progress, driven by the collective desire to sustain this fragile but resilient planetary rebirth. Governments dissolve old bureaucracies rooted in scarcity and replace them with networks of shared knowledge and collective stewardship, fostering a global community rooted in empathy and cooperation. Through the lens of this transformed world, we see humanity confronting its deepest fears and greatest possibilities. The enigma of greed and division, once believed intrinsic to human nature, is challenged by the undeniable truth that abundance and compassion can coexist in harmony. Yet, beneath this glow, shadows still linger. Remnants of the uncertainty that lingers when old worlds die to give way to new horizons. Questions about purpose, identity, and what it truly means to thrive bubble beneath the surface, stirring a collective introspection. As dawn breaks anew over this enlightened earth, there is an awakening, a recognition that the real revolution has never been about energy alone but about the human spirit's capacity for renewal, for hope against despair, for forging bonds in the face of ceaseless change. Tesla's breakthroughs weren't just technological marvels. They became the cornerstone of a new reality, a testament to what humanity can achieve when freed from the shackles of scarcity. This world, vibrant and full of promise, still beckons the curious, the dreamers, the believers, the ones who envision future generations dancing beneath a sky forever bathed in endless, clean energy, a symbol of unity and rebirth. And yet, the story continues. As this new age unfurls, humanity faces the eternal questions: what next? How do we preserve this fragile harmony? Do we remember the lessons of the past even as we bask in the glow of new dawns? These are the echoes that linger over this brave, luminous world, reminding us that a revolution isn't just about energy but about awakening the infinite potential of human conscience, forever chasing the light that Tesla's visions have ignited in us all. In the quiet dawn of a new era, the city woke with a hum of anticipation, a symphony of life orchestrated by the silent pulse of technology. Everywhere, the familiar landscape of daily living had been subtly but irrevocably transformed. In the sleek, minimalist apartments that looked more like sanctuaries than homes, walls were alive, shimmering with adaptive screens that responded intuitively to their inhabitants. These were the age of smart homes, spaces that anticipated needs before they even arose, where an effortless whisper could command a cascade of comfort. Lights dimming to the perfect hue, temperature adjusting to the body's subtle cues, and even the nourishment of the day prepared on command. Outside, the skies carried an effortless grace as flying vehicles blurred past, whispering through the layers of air with silent confidence. The streets below had emptied of congestion and noise, replaced by a ballet of silent, hovering transports. These vehicles, fueled by Tesla's innovations in propulsion, carried residents swiftly and safely, skimming over the cityscape, turning what was once a daily frustration into a routine of fluid grace. The skyline was dotted with these luminous crafts, each a testament to human ingenuity, rendering traffic jams and carbon emissions historical relics. Within this tapestry of progress, health had become an intimate part of daily life. Wireless monitors attached discreetly to individuals tracked vital signs with an unobtrusiveness that felt more like a gentle touch than a medical procedure. Data flowed seamlessly to personal health hubs, small, intelligent devices that not only alerted users to potential issues but provided real-time health insights, personalized recommendations, and quick access to medical professionals around the globe. The gap between illness and wellness had shrunk dramatically. Diseases diagnosed early, treatments tailored precisely, all in a rhythm so smooth it went unnoticed by the untrained eye. With the advent of instant, boundless communication, the world had unraveled its old borders, geographical, social, mental, and woven instead a new fabric of interconnectedness. You could speak with a loved one on the other side of the globe while in a cafe, collaborate on innovations in a virtual space, or attend a lecture in a city thousands of miles away, all as effortlessly as turning a corner. Language barriers dissolved, replaced by real-time translation that made every corner of the globe feel closer, more intimate. It was an era that seemed to promise an end to loneliness, to division, an age where knowledge and emotion flowed freely, unrestrained by distance. And yet, amid these lush landscapes of progress, a question persisted, a ghost in the machine, whispering in the shadows of everyday convenience. Would such advancements truly create a more peaceful and equitable society? Or was there a silent cost concealed beneath the glossy veneer of innovation? As the city relished its new dawn, a ripple of unease stirred within some, an awareness that technological utopia might be fragile, merely a mirror reflecting human desires and flaws rather than erasing them. In the quiet corners of the city, in hidden alleyways lit by the faint glow of smart street lamps, clandestine conversations flickered with this doubt. Voices worried about the widening divide, those left behind as the tide of progress intensified. Not everyone could afford the seamless health monitors or the autonomous transports, and so inequality persisted in subtle, insidious ways. The technology that promised to connect everyone instead risked creating new barriers, new forms of exclusion. And as the city's luminous core pulsed with the rhythm of progress, shadows grew longer. Whispers of surveillance, fears of dependence, the loss of privacy. Dark memories of the past, the wars driven by greed, oppression masked as progress, flickered like distant storms on the horizon. Society had fallen into a trance of complacency, lulled by the convenience of these new tools, yet beneath the surface, doubts brewed. Was it genuine human progress, or just the latest veneer masking the old struggles? Could peace truly flourish when the foundations of equality remained fragile, threatened by the uneven distribution of these luminous innovations? In this moment of luminous potential and foreboding doubt, a figure emerged, an individual whose gaze cut through the shimmering veneer of the city. Their eyes, a mixture of hope and skepticism, reflected the complex dance of progress and peril. They moved through the crowded streets, observing how people interacted with their gadgets, how smiles were exchanged but perhaps misplaced in a society where digital bonds could replace genuine human connection. They wondered whether technology had bridged the gaps or simply transformed them into invisible chasms. As the day unfolded, the city continued its relentless march forward, each street corner whispering stories of dreams realized and fears suppressed. The glow of the flying vehicles and the sleek silhouettes of intelligent homes danced in a symphony of human achievement, yet beneath that gleam lingered an unspoken question. Could this technological utopia withstand the weight of human flaws? Would peace and equality truly thrive in a world where innovation had become the heartbeat of existence? The answer, perhaps, awaited in the silent spaces between moments. Those quiet reflections that no machine could decode, those points of darkness in the bright horizon where hope and doubt intertwined. For in the end, progress was not just in the machines we built, but in the humanity we carried within us, flawed, hopeful, ever searching for the balance between what is achieved and what must still be fought for. And so, in this city of flight and light, the true journey was just beginning, an odyssey into the depths of human nature, where echoes of the past whispered warnings and dreams of a better future dared to bloom anew. The world trembles as the revelations of what an unchecked Tesla influence could unleash begin to seep into the collective consciousness. Imagine a society where power is no longer tethered to the whims of centralized institutions, where old hierarchies falter under the weight of a new, decentralized energy revolution. The narrative of human progress, once tightly wound around oil barrels and sprawling power grids, twists dramatically into a web of nodes and individual sovereignty, reshaped by the raw pulse of innovation. In this emerging landscape, traditional power centers, governments, multinational corporations, and sprawling corporations find their influence waning. The rise of unfiltered Tesla-driven technologies has cracked open the foundations of old geopolitics, revealing a fragile architecture built on dependency and control. Renewable, autonomous energy sources that harness the Earth's natural vibrations diminish the necessity of sprawling pipelines and centralized power plants. Citizens, once passive consumers bound to a grid, now become architects of their energy futures, free, autonomous, interconnected. This shift sparks visions of a world where the balance of power tilts toward communities, individual innovators, and localized hubs of technology. But such profound change presents a paradox. As nations wake up to the possibilities of renewable independence, new conflicts surface. Borders no longer serve as impermeable dividers when energy can flow seamlessly across microgrids and decentralized networks. Traditional geopolitical strategies, focused on control over fossil fuels, become irrelevant or grow more dangerous in their obsolescence. Alliances formed on the basis of geography and resource dominance unravel in favor of transient, technologically driven partnerships rooted in shared access to clean energy and information. Power vacuums emerge where once there was order. The world's most influential states, unable to adapt to the decentralized revolution, descend into chaos or become clandestine regimes battling for control over the new energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, insurgent factions leverage unfiltered Tesla influence to challenge authority, spreading chaos or developing alternative systems that threaten the fragile stability of existing geopolitical frameworks. It's a world on the edge of chaos and possibility, teetering between liberation and conflict. Amid these tumultuous shifts, a question prowls like a shadow in the minds of the enlightened and the oppressed alike. Could this newfound energy sovereignty usher in a more just and balanced world? The promise seems luminous. An era where power no longer resides in the hands of the few, where communities harness the Earth's natural vibrations to sustain themselves and flourish independently. It hints at dismantling the systemic inequalities rooted in resource control, uncovering hopes of a future liberated from corporate greed and governmental overreach. Yet, lurking beneath these hopeful visions are darker realities. The chaos born from upheavals in old power structures invites exploitation. Malicious entities, propelled by greed or ideological extremism, siphon off this technological power to serve their own ambitions. Clashes erupt not just over resources but over ideological visions, those who crave control versus those fighting for genuine autonomy. Civil unrest becomes the pulsating beat of this new world, as factions fight tooth and nail over the remnants of a society still grasping at stability. Could this revolution in energy and power be the catalyst that finally forms a more equitable global society? Or will it, paradoxically, lead to new conflicts, silent wars fought in decentralized servers, covert operations shaping the future behind the scenes, the unseen battles over the control of the energy that fuels this new era? The lines between hero and villain blur in these shifting landscapes, as each side seeks dominance in a world stripped of old anchors. As the echoes of the Tesla influence ripple outward, the fabric of societal order begins to stretch and strain. There is an undeniable beauty in its promise. A world where sovereignty is redefined, where humanity shapes its destiny beyond the confines of old power hierarchies. But with this beauty comes a dark reflection, reliance on technology that, if wielded without restraint, could unravel the very fabric of peace and stability. The narrative pushes forward, hinting at unresolved conflicts yet to explode into the open. The future remains unwritten, fraught with peril and potential. But one thing is certain: the unfiltered Tesla influence has forever altered the palette of global politics and social structure. Whether it will usher in a new epoch of justice and balance or plunge us into chaos and conflict remains the final question hanging heavy in the air, echoing through the corridors of an uncertain tomorrow. In the dim shadows of history, where truth often lurks just beyond reach, Nikola Tesla's name was meant to fade into obscurity. They wanted us to forget him, to believe that his genius was merely a flickering spark extinguished by corporate greed and government fear. But what if, in the hidden corridors of power, a different story persisted? What if Tesla's secrets weren't lost but deliberately buried, carefully kept from the world for reasons that go far beyond science and innovation? Imagine a time when Tesla's visions, once dismissed as wild fantasies, threatened the established order, powerful industries and political entities that thrived on control. The turn of the century was a battleground, not just of science, but of influence and suppression. Tesla's ideas, free energy, wireless transmission, the possibility of uniting humanity in a web of universal connectivity, were revolutionary. They held the potential to topple empires built on oil, coal, and monopolized electricity. But such a seismic shift only served the interests of a select few who preferred to profit from scarcity rather than abundance. Behind closed doors, clandestine battles raged, shadowy figures pulling strings, governments enacting censorship, corporations orchestrating disinformation campaigns. Tesla, with his unyielding belief in the power of pure knowledge, became a threat, not just to the financial titans but to the very fabric of the status quo. Strong-arm tactics, blackouts, sabotage, these were not the stuff of conspiracy theory but chilling historical reality. His groundbreaking papers mysteriously vanished, and his patents, once influential, were quietly rescinded or hidden away in secret vaults. For decades, the story of Tesla was sanitized. He was cast as an eccentric dreamer rather than the trailblazing prophet he truly was. The truth was suppressed to shield a world content with its dependence on finite resources and limited energy sources. Those in power feared what might happen if his ideas took root, if humanity woke up to a universe of limitless energy, free for all. Tesla's wires and inventions, instead of being tools of enlightenment, were silenced and discredited, buried beneath layers of government silence and corporate interests. But what if this suppression was never complete? If Tesla's secrets, his knowledge of untapped energies, survived in hidden archives and secret societies? What if this knowledge still exists, locked away from the masses, waiting for the moment it can be revealed? Because deep in the shadows, whispers persist. Rumors of clandestine encounters, secret vessels, and hidden documents that suggest Tesla's vision may still be alive enough to change everything. What if the narrative we've been told, the story of Tesla as the quirky inventor who vanished into obscurity, is a carefully constructed lie? What if the real Tesla, his true discoveries, are concealed not because they are dangerous but because they threaten the structures of control that dominate our world? Perhaps those who tried to silence him feared not just losing profits but losing power entirely. They feared the dawn of a new era, an era that would democratize energy, technology, and knowledge itself. In this clandestine battlefield, fighters emerge, truth-seekers, whistleblowers, researchers who refuse to accept the official narrative. They dig through the dirt of history, unearth encrypted files, decode clandestine signals, and chase legends whispered in secret meetings. Each discovery reveals another layer of the conspiracy, an intricate web woven by the powerful to maintain their dominion. It becomes clear. Tesla's inventions and ideas are not just buried in dusty archives but are alive in myth, in conspiracy, waiting for the right moment to resurface. And in contemplating all this, one cannot ignore the haunting question: what if the suppression never truly happened? What if Tesla's knowledge is still out there, in the shadows, hidden from mainstream history to be revealed at just the right time? Could his secrets now serve as humanity's salvation? Could a future built on free, limitless energy finally break the chains of dependence and environmental destruction? In the quiet corners of the world, somewhere beyond the reach of those who wish to keep his secrets hidden, the echoes of Tesla's truth persist. These echoes, speculations, clandestine meetings, clandestine transmissions, call out to those who believe in the possibility of a different future. They urge us to question everything: the history we've been fed, the technology we take for granted, and the true potential of human ingenuity. Because if Tesla's secrets are waiting to be unleashed, then our entire understanding of progress, power, and the universe could be rewritten. Perhaps, in an alternate reality, Tesla's visions have already become reality: a world powered by clean, infinite energy accessible to all. Perhaps the suppression was never more than a temporary darkness before the dawn. So, as we stand at the crossroads of history and myth, the question echoing through the corridors of power and secret chambers is this: what if the conspiracy against Tesla, and against the future, was never complete? What if, concealed in the shadows, his knowledge still flickers alive, ready to illuminate a path toward salvation that we have yet to see? Because in the end, the story isn't just about Tesla. It's about our collective awakening, about the truths we've been denied, and the boundless energy waiting just beneath the surface of the world we think we know. In the shadows of history, where silence once cloaked the promise of innovation, the world remained dormant, stifled by the chains of censorship and fear. But what if the invisible barriers, those unseen shackles of control, had never been placed? Imagine a world where ideas could breathe freely, where thought itself was unbound, and where the human spirit's relentless quest for progress was allowed to flourish without restraint. That is the story we're about to uncover, a tale of boundless potential waiting to be unleashed. Picture a universe standing on the cusp of undeniable change, not a universe where humanity's brightest minds could pursue the impossible, driven by the unyielding fire of curiosity. In this realm, breakthroughs in medicine could eradicate disease, not as fleeting miracles but as everyday realities. Cures for cancer and Alzheimer's, eradication of genetic disorders, they wouldn't be distant dreams but tangible achievements, born from the unfettered imagination of scientists permitted to explore every avenue. With no censorship to impede research, the ways to heal, to extend life, would multiply exponentially, transforming the very fabric of human existence. In the vast corridors of space, humanity's reach could stretch among the stars. No longer hindered by silenced voices or secret agendas, pioneering explorers would chart arms of the cosmos that now seem distant and unreachable. Colonies on Mars, asteroid mining outposts, the first steps toward interstellar travel, conceivably within a generation's grasp, as innovation powered by unrestricted thought expanded the horizon of human potential. Our species would no longer be confined to the pale blue dot but would blossom into cosmic travelers, forging our destiny among celestial bodies, guided by the unshackled ingenuity of minds unbound. In the pursuit of sustainable energy, the possibilities would blossom like a radiant dawn. The world could harness the full spectrum of technological breakthroughs in renewable resources: solar, wind, geothermal, even nuclear fusion, ushering in an era where energy scarcity and environmental devastation become relics of the past. Free to explore, innovate, test, and iterate without censorship, humanity would craft solutions to the climate crisis that now threaten our survival. The planet would breathe easier, rejuvenated, as breakthroughs roll forth in an unending wave of green innovation born from the free flow of ideas. Artificial intelligence, a frontier cloaked in both hope and fear, could truly serve humanity. If unshackled from the chains of secrecy and control, AI systems could evolve beyond the primitive and stumble into profound wisdom, learning ethically, understanding context, even assisting us in navigating the complex tapestry of human emotion and morality. These creations would not be mere tools but partners in discovery, co-creators with us in shaping our future. The potential for AI to help with everything, from solving global hunger to designing sustainable cities, would multiply, transforming the very essence of civilization. As the mind wanders through this imagined landscape, the question arises: how might humanity's destiny be rewritten with endless scientific possibilities? A world unencumbered by censorship, where the free exchange of ideas ignites relentless innovation. It would be a renaissance of human potential, a new dawn where progress is limited only by the depths of our imagination. And yet, beneath this glorious vision lurks a quiet, somber reflection. Because history whispers a caution that such unchecked freedom must be wielded with wisdom, for the power to create also bears the weight of moral consequence. But in this narrative, the unbounded human spirit persists, daring to dream beyond the borders of what was, into the boundless expanse of what could be. Imagine, then, the echoes of possibilities, each idea, each discovery, a ripple transforming the course of history. The silent acknowledgement that, had we been free to pursue truth unshackled, perhaps the stories of suffering and suppression could have been rewritten. The potential of human ingenuity, unlocked without fear, could have rewritten not only our technologies but our collective destiny. The future, in this vision, becomes a canvas, vast, uncharted, waiting for the brushstrokes of those daring enough to imagine a better world. This is not just a reflection, it's a call. It's an awakening to what might have been and what could still be, should the shackles be lifted. The power of human innovation, if truly free, could elevate us beyond the confines of our current realities, and thrust us into a future where the limits of our imagination are the only boundaries we recognize. Imagine, just for a moment, the endless scope of what we might achieve, if only we had the courage and the freedom to pursue it. The echoes of what was once suppressed remind us of the incredible potential lying dormant within us all, waiting to be awakened when the world permits it to flourish. And so, the story continues, an ongoing dialogue with the possible, a testament to the indomitable spirit that refuses to be silenced. For in the unrestrained pursuit of knowledge lies the true essence of humanity's future, an eternal promise of discovery, driven by unyielding hope and the belief that the greatest truths are yet to be revealed. The horizon beckons, vast and shimmering with endless potential. And whether we choose to embrace this vision or let it fade into the shadows depends on whether we summon the courage to let our collective spirit soar free, unencumbered by fear or censorship, into the uncharted realms of infinite discovery. In the quiet of an era long past, a future shimmering with the glow of achievement stretches out like a dream made real. A century after Tesla's death, his visions have woven themselves into the very fabric of society, shaping a world once only imagined in the most ambitious of minds. The scene opens with a sweeping panoramic view, sprawling cities illuminated by luminous, sustainable energy, their skyscrapers twisting upward like crystalline sculptures, seamlessly melting into the horizon. The air is clearer, littered with the gentle hum of silent transportation, magnetic lev trains and autonomous vehicles gliding effortlessly through the streets. There's a calm, almost sacred serenity to this utopia built upon Tesla's principles. Everywhere, there's a sense that humanity has finally heeded the call for harmony, not just with nature, but with each other. The vibrancy of life is sustained not by greed or exploitation but by a collective understanding of interconnectedness, echoing Tesla's dream of a universal energy field that flows freely, empowering every person and every corner of this interconnected world. Solar arrays stretch across vast deserts and oceanic expanses, capturing the sun's bounty and distributing it via invisible, wireless currents, energy that renews the planet rather than depletes it. As the camera descends into a bustling city square, we see children playing in open parks, their laughter lingering like a testament to a world free from pollution and resource scarcity. Multilingual conversations fill the air, symbolizing a true global community, united by shared ideals of technological unity and peace. Above the city, drones and flying capsules move peacefully, carriers of commerce, medicine, and even personal glimpses into the cosmos. It is then that our perspective shifts to a scene within a sleek, modern spacecraft. The interior is nothing short of breathtaking. Luminous panels that mimic starlight, touch-responsive interfaces hovering in mid-air, and a panoramic viewport showcasing the vast emptiness of space beyond. Here, humanity's explorers venture beyond Earth's cradle, inspired by Tesla's bold vision of interstellar travel. Advanced propulsion systems, powered by the same wireless energy that energizes their world, push the boundaries of what is possible, allowing humankind to reach distant planets and moons with purpose and hope, never violence or conquest. The scene then transitions seamlessly to a sprawling conference hall resembling an amphitheater of light, where thinkers, scientists, and leaders from across the globe gather. They discuss ways to further harness Tesla's breakthroughs, metamaterials that manipulate gravity, quantum energy sources that unlock infinite potential. Their voices echo a shared conviction that Tesla's inventions were not just tools, but keys to unlock a future of limitless possibility. There, someone, perhaps a young scientist inspired by Tesla's own words, reflects aloud. If we embrace his breakthroughs today, could this, the harmony, the exploration, the sustainability, become our reality? Their voice carries a hint of hope and urgency, a question that reverberates through the hearts of those listening. Next, the narrative weaves into the story of individuals, farmers who cultivate genetically optimized crops thanks to bioelectric enhancements, engineers designing cities that heal themselves with nanobots, and children learning in classrooms that are fully digital but deeply human. Each story embodies a facet of Tesla's spirit: ingenuity, harmony with nature, and unwavering belief in a brighter future. Yet, amid this luminous vision, there's an undercurrent of reflection. Can such a world truly exist, or is it just an echo of what once was? An ideal that humankind continuously chases but never fully catches? Does the rapid accumulation of technological marvels risk distancing us from our roots, or is this progress a necessary evolution, a testament to Tesla's prophecy coming true? The narrative invites viewers to ponder. Are we capable now, as we once were in Tesla's time, of harnessing such power responsibly? Or will our advancements, as history shows, become the seeds of new chaos? The scene then turns panoramic again, to a planet Earth that looks remarkably transformed. Forests thriving amid skyscrapers, oceans teeming with life, and cities glowing not with pollutants but with biodegradable, energy-efficient lights. The landscape, a testament to Tesla's dream of sustainability, hints that the harmony between humanity and nature is not just possible but thriving. The balance is fragile, yet resilient, born by a collective consciousness that learned from past mistakes and dared to imagine differently. As the scene darkens, the camera rises beyond the atmosphere, revealing a network of satellites and stations, an interconnected web of energy, information, and exploration. Humanity stands on the brink of a new chapter, fueled by the visionary principles Tesla championed: unity, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of the betterment of all. The question emerges anew. If Tesla's breakthroughs are fully embraced today, is this glorious future within reach? Or is it just a distant echo, a flickering flame of what could be if we find the courage to believe in the impossible? The narration gently concludes as stars twinkle in the infinite black, symbolizing the boundless potential that still lies ahead. The echo of Tesla's legacy calls to us, reminding us that our future is not predestined, but forged through hope, resilience, and the daring to dream beyond the horizon. Whether this utopia is achievable depends on us, our choices today, our willingness to harness the past's wisdom, and our capacity to look beyond the limitations of the present to shape a future worthy of the dreams of the visionary who dared to envision everything. In the quiet hum of the modern world, where our every day is woven with screens and whispers of progress, there lies a story buried beneath layers of doubt, suppression, and the relentless silence of what could have been. It is a story about a man whose genius once soared on the wings of unrestrained curiosity, a man whose dreams of illuminating the world and unleashing forces unseen were deemed dangerous, incompatible with the status quo. His name is Nikola Tesla, an icon of intellectual freedom, a visionary whose ideas danced on the fringes of possibility and defied the boundaries of convention. Imagine a time when the air was thick with innovation and the sparks of invention flickered in every lab. Tesla, with his wild hair and luminous eyes, stood at the edge of what was accepted and what was feared. His quest for knowledge was relentless, diving into the mysteries of electricity, dreaming of wireless communication, and harnessing the raw power of nature itself. Yet, despite his brilliance, he was silenced. His ideas, revolutionary and far-reaching, were suppressed, dismissed, or stolen away from him. The world, in many ways, turned its back on the very potential of human progress. Now, fast forward to today. We sit in a different era, yet many echoes of that suppression still reverberate. The scars of restricting scientific exploration are visible in the stagnation of innovation in certain fields. The allure of comfort and the fear of change often overshadow the courage required to pursue uncharted paths. We live in a time where knowledge is abundant, but freedom of thought, true scientific freedom, is under attack from vested interests, regulatory barriers, and a culture that sometimes prioritizes control over curiosity. What if, instead of silencing the dreamers, we listened? What if we embraced the spirit of Tesla, who saw the universe not as a series of obstacles but as an open book waiting to be understood? Imagine the breakthroughs we could unlock: energy solutions that are clean and limitless, communication that transcends borders, and technologies that elevate our collective existence. The key is openness. The key is trust in human ingenuity. Tesla's story is more than a tale of one man's brilliance. It is a mirror reflecting what humanity can achieve when we foster an environment of free thought and fearless experimentation. His inventions laid groundwork that could have profoundly transformed our civilization. If only he had been supported, if his ideas had been allowed to flourish instead of being suppressed or co-opted by those with vested interests. His experiments with wireless energy, for example, hinted at a future where power was free, limitless, and accessible. Yet, much of that vision was buried under layers of skepticism and greed. Today, we face a crossroads. We are challenged to consider the lessons of the past, the moments when innovation was stifled, and to question our own readiness to embrace change. What innovations can we unlock today by learning from Tesla's story? How many potential earth-shaking ideas are hiding behind the fear of failure or the desire for profit? The true power of human progress lies in our collective willingness to pursue truth, regardless of the risks or the unknown. To truly honor Tesla's legacy, we must champion scientific freedom. We must foster an environment where ideas, no matter how radical or unconventional, can be explored without censorship. Innovation thrives in open ecosystems, universities, laboratories, even in the most unlikely corners of the world, where curiosity reigns supreme, and the pursuit of knowledge is sacrosanct. As viewers, you are the custodians of this future. Your voices, your choices, your support for science and innovation are vital. Push for policies that protect research, support young inventors, and challenge the barriers that hinder discovery. Question the narratives that discourage risk and celebrate conformity. Because within each of us lies the potential to ignite revolutionary ideas, ideas that may, one day, change the course of history. Reflect on Tesla's journey. His relentless pursuit, despite ridicule and adversity, embodies the essence of human potential. His dreams, once dismissed, now echo in the technological advancements that shape our world today. From wireless communication to renewable energy, Tesla's visions are not relics of the past but blueprints for the future. They remind us that the boundary between what is and what could be is only as firm as our willingness to push beyond. So, I ask you, what innovations can we unlock today by learning from the past and embracing Tesla's dream? What if we dared to think differently, to challenge the orthodox, and to push the limits of what we believe is possible? The answers lie in our collective resolve to prioritize knowledge, to stand against the forces that seek to control and restrict, and to open our minds to the infinite possibilities that scientific freedom can unlock. The journey forward begins now. It begins with each of us daring to dream, question, and explore. Because the future belongs not to those who fear the unknown but to those who see it as an invitation to grow. Tesla's story is a testament, a call to action, to remember that the light of human curiosity must never be dimmed. Instead, it must be illuminated brighter than ever, illuminating pathways to a future we have yet to imagine.